I am sitting in the coffee shop waiting for Sarah to show up, and she is already a full hour late. It is the first real date we have planned in the 5 years we have been married. Well, to be honest, it was really just my idea, a one-sided invitation that I hoped she would accept. "Sorry, Mark. There was an issue at the office," Sarah says as she rushes in and sits down across from me, not even bothering to take off her heavy coat. I look at the stress lines on her forehead, and I feel that familiar wave of disappointment washing over me. It has been 5 years, and for every important moment in our lives, there has always been some kind of emergency. On the day of our wedding, she took 3 different work calls during the reception. When I took our son, Leo, for his first round of vaccines, she was away on a business trip. When Leo said "Dada" for the first time, she was stuck in a meeting. "It is fine," I whisper, realizing I have gotten used to this routine over time. Sarah orders a black coffee and immediately checks her phone for messages. I look at her face, which is illuminated by the glow of the screen. I try to remember the girl from 5 years ago, the one who used to play the guitar and sing songs for me in the living room. She used to stay up until all hours of the night helping me with my work projects, take days off to take care of me when I had the flu, and drive 2 hours just to give me a hug. Now she doesn't even seem to see me sitting right in front of her. "Sarah," I say softly. "Hmm?" she mumbles, not even looking up from the screen. "I want to talk to you," I say. "Is something wrong?" She finally puts her phone down and looks at me. There is a professional sort of patience in her eyes, like I am just another client she needs to calm down. I take a deep breath to steady myself. I want a divorce. The air around us seems to freeze for a second. Sarah blinks a few times like she didn't quite hear what I said. "What did you say?" I said. "Let's get a divorce," I say, trying to keep my voice even, though it trembles a little. I have practiced saying this phrase 1,000,000 times in my head, but it still hurts to say it out loud. Sarah puts her phone down on the table, and for the first time all night, she is really paying attention to me. "Mark, are you joking?" "I am not joking," I reply, reaching into my bag to pull out the divorce papers I had prepared earlier. "I have thought this through." She takes the papers, flipping through the pages quickly. Her expression changes from confusion to shock. "Why? We were doing fine." Fine, she actually thinks we were doing fine. "Sarah," I continue, "when was the last time we really had a conversation?" She hesitates, clearly trying to find an answer. "Do you know what Leo's favorite toy is right now? Do you know that he is terrified of thunder? Do you know he asks me every single night when Mommy and Daddy will be home together?" Each question seems to hit her hard. "I have been busy," she says defensively. "You are always busy," I interrupt her. "You were busy enough to forget our anniversary, busy enough to miss the important parts of Leo's childhood, and busy enough to treat our house like it is just a hotel you sleep in." Sarah places the papers back on the table and reaches across to take my hand. I gently pull my hand away. "Mark, I know I have messed up, but we can fix this." 5 years, Sarah. I shake my head. I have waited 5 years. You have been saying things would change for a long time, but nothing ever has. Her face turns pale. "What about Leo? He is still so young." "Leo stays with me," I answer firmly. "I have thought about it. He needs a parent who is actually present." The coffee shop is playing soft music in the background, and couples around us are whispering quietly. And at our table, the divorce papers sit between us. Sarah stays quiet for so long that I think she has finally accepted the reality of it. Finally, she asks, "Can you give me some time?" "Time?" I laugh, but it sounds bitter. "Sarah, I have given you 5 years. I stand up and pick up my bag, look over the agreement. If you have questions, we can talk. But I want this done quickly. Walking out of the coffee shop, the spring sun hits my face, and I finally feel a sense of relief. Yes, I am getting a divorce. Starting today, I am living for myself and my son. When I get back home, Leo is building a tower with plastic blocks in the living room. Dad! He runs into my arms, colliding with me in a tight hug. Hey, buddy, have you been good today? I kiss his cheek. Yeah. Mrs. Gable said Mom is coming home early today. Is that true? Leo's eyes are wide and hopeful as he looks at me. My heart aches for him. Mrs. Gable, our housekeeper, steps out from the kitchen. Mark, Sarah called to say she has a dinner meeting and will be late. Leo's hopeful expression fades instantly. Another dinner? He mutters quietly. I kneel down and hug him. How about Dad keeps you company tonight? We can build a giant castle together. Okay. Leo's eyes brighten up again. Kids are like that, easily pleased, but also easily let down. We spread the blocks across the carpet. Leo earnestly explains the purpose of each piece to me. This is the king's room, and this is where the knights live. They play together every single day. What if the queen is never home? I ask gently. Leo thinks for a moment. Then the king just plays alone, because kings are strong too. His words hit home for me. Yes, the king can be strong. He doesn't need an absent queen. By 10 o'clock that night, Sarah still hasn't returned. I give Leo a bath, read him stories, and tuck him into bed. Throughout the whole routine, he doesn't mention his mom once. He is used to it. He is used to her absence and used to having only Dad around. This normalcy hurts to see, and it reinforces my decision to divorce. Leo deserves better. He deserves a loving, present parent. It is past midnight when I hear the front door open. Sarah enters quietly, smelling faintly of wine. Still up? She asks, looking surprised to see me. Waiting for you, I say, closing the book I was reading. We need to talk about Leo. She hesitates for a second, then nods. Let me shower first. 15 minutes later, she sits across from me in the living room. About Leo, she starts. He stays with me, I cut in. You can see him twice a month. Mark, is that fair to him? Sarah argues. He needs his mother. What he needs is a mom who really cares about him, I say, looking her in the eye. Not just a stranger who is constantly on business trips and falls asleep as soon as she gets home. I am his mom, she raises her voice. Then tell me, who is his best friend? What is he most afraid of? What is his dream? Sarah opens her mouth to answer, but can't speak. You see, you don't know anything. In his heart, you are just a visitor who shows up occasionally. Her face turns pale. I can change, she says. You have said that too many times. I shake my head. I don't want to hear it anymore. The living room falls silent. The clock on the wall ticks away, sounding like the countdown of our marriage ending. If I really change? Her voice is soft. I look at her, this woman who once captured my heart. Sarah, some things, once they are broken, cannot be fixed. I say this and head to the bedroom to sleep. I hear a long sigh behind me. This might be our last deep conversation. Starting tomorrow, we will be something else, ex-husband and ex-wife, parents to a kid. That is it. The next morning, Sarah shockingly didn't leave for work. Leo sees his mom at the breakfast table and almost spills his milk in surprise. Mom? You aren't going to work today? No, I am spending time with Leo today. Sarah forces a smile. I am in the kitchen making breakfast. Hearing this, my hands tremble slightly. Is this her last effort? Awesome. Mom, can you take me to the science center? Dad said they have big dinosaur skeletons there. Leo claps his hands excitedly. Of course, Sarah says. She looks at me. Dad, do you want to come too? I walk out with a plate of sandwiches. I have some things to take care of. Dad, Leo pouts. Seeing my son's disappointed face, I soften. All right, but just for half a day. The science center is packed full of families with kids. Leo jumps ahead of us, holding both our hands. Mom, Dad, let's take a picture. He points at a backdrop of the solar system. Sarah immediately grabs her phone. Come on, get in position. The photo makes us look like a happy family of 3. Anyone who doesn't know us would think we are loving. But it is just a surface-level image. Mom, I want to play on that one. Leo points at a flight simulator. Sure, Mom will go with you. Watching Sarah carefully buckle him in, I feel a little lost. What if she is always like this? What if she realized the importance of family earlier? But there are no what-ifs. Dad, what are you thinking? Leo waves from the simulator. I snap back to reality and wave at him. Dad is just watching Leo have fun. I am so happy. Both Mom and Dad are here. Sarah's eyes look complicated as she looks at me after hearing that. I avoid her gaze. At lunch, we eat at the museum's restaurant. Leo goes on excitedly about what he did and saw. Mom, can you be with me more often? He suddenly asks. Sarah puts down her fork. Of course, Mom will be with Leo more from now on. Really? His eyes shine. Really? I smile bitterly on the inside. Another promise. She has always been good at making promises, but not keeping them. On the way home, Leo falls asleep in the back seat. It is just Sarah and my breathing in the quiet car. Did you have fun today? She asks me. Leo was very happy, I reply. And you? I stay silent. Happy? Of course, seeing my son happy makes me happy. But this happiness is bittersweet, knowing it won't happen like this again. Mark, can't we try again? Her voice is soft. Sarah, do you think one day of change can make up for 5 years of indifference? She doesn't answer. At a red light, I look outside at the hurried pedestrians. Everyone is rushing for their own lives, seeking their own happiness. And I should work for my happiness too. Have you looked at the agreement? I ask. I have. Her voice is quieter. You thought of everything. Then sign it soon. The car moves again, and neither of us speaks. Leo sleeps soundly in the back, clutching the dinosaur toy we bought today. He doesn't know this might be our last outing as a family of 3. Some things adults don't tell kids. But they always figure it out as they grow. Hopefully, when he does, he will understand Dad's choice today. At night, after his bath, Leo gets Sarah to tell him a story. Mom, can you tell the superhero story? Okay. Sarah sits by the bed, clumsily flipping through the book. She rarely tells Leo stories. I have always done that. In the distant city, there is a hero. I stand at the door, hearing her stumbling voice, feeling complex emotions. If she acted like this sooner. If she was more involved in Leo's life. But it is too late. Dad, come in and listen too. Leo spots me. I enter the room, sitting on the other end of the bed. The family of 3 gathered around the bed, warm as a fairy tale scene. Then the hero defeated the monster and saved the city, Sarah finishes. Did the hero's family live happily ever after? Leo asks. Yes, happily ever after. Sarah glances at me. Will our family always be together too? The air goes still. Sarah and I exchange a glance, unsure how to respond. Of course, Sarah finally says. Mom and Dad will always love Leo. Notice she doesn't say we will always be together, just that we love him. A skillful answer, not a lie, not leaving the kid worried. Leo nods in satisfaction. All right, now I can sleep peacefully. He closes his eyes and quickly drifts off to sleep. Sarah and I tiptoe out of the room. When are we going to tell him? She asks me. Once everything is finalized, I reply. He is too young to understand now. What if he asks? We will just say Mom and Dad need to live apart for a while. I have thought it through. He will understand more as he gets older. Sarah nods, looking somber. I go back to the master bedroom and start packing. Though we are not officially divorced yet, I have decided to move out for now. Pretending to be happy under the same roof is exhausting. You are moving out? Sarah stands at the doorway. Yeah, I continue folding clothes. I have rented a place. What about Leo? He will come with me. She pauses for a moment. His preschool, I mean. I will transfer him to one near the new place. Mark. She comes in. You don't have to rush. We can always... Sarah, I stop and look at her. Since we decided to separate, let's not drag it out. It isn't good for anyone. She stands there watching me pack item after item into the suitcase. These clothes, some she bought for me, and some we had picked out together while shopping. Every single one holds memories, but now they are just things that need to be packed away. Can I see Leo on the weekends? She asks. Of course. I close the suitcase. You are his mother. That won't change. What about you? She suddenly asks. Will I see you? I pause for a moment. We will just be Leo's parents. Other than that we are strangers, right? She finishes with a sad smile. I don't reply, but my silence is telling. I understand. She turns and leaves the room. I hear the sound of a wine bottle opening in the living room. She is drinking again. Whenever she felt stressed or upset, she would drink alone. I had tried talking to her about it before, but it was no use. Now, how much she drinks is no longer my concern. I continue packing our 5 years of marriage into a few boxes. It would be a lie to say I am not saddened by this. But sometimes, choosing to end things takes courage too. For Leo, and for myself. Outside the window, the night is calm, and the city's lights are still shining. Tomorrow, Leo and I will begin a new life in a new place. No disappointment, no waiting, just the warmth of us being together. Maybe, just maybe, that is a good thing. The next day is Saturday, and I had planned to take Leo to see the new apartment. But Sarah wants to come with us. I want to see where Leo will be living, she says. I don't refuse. The new place is in the city center, a 2-bedroom unit that is nicely decorated. Wow, it is so beautiful, Leo exclaims, running around excitedly as soon as we enter. Do you like it, Leo? I ask him. Yes. Is that room mine? He points to the 2nd bedroom. Yes, that is Leo's secret base. Leo happily dashes into the room, starting to plan his little world. Sarah stands in the living room, examining every corner closely. The decorations are nice, she says. The safety measures are well thought out, too. Yeah, I reply simply. Is it far from his new preschool? Not far, a 10-minute walk. She nods and goes to check the balcony. The view is nice, and there is plenty of natural light. I join her on the balcony, the cityscape, is in full view. Mom, look, you can see so many buildings from here. Leo runs over and grabs Sarah's hand. Yes, it is beautiful. She kneels down and hugs him. Leo is going to be happy here. Will Mom come to see me? Of course, Mom will visit often. Leo kisses her cheek, delighted. Watching this, my emotions are all over the place. If only she had realized the importance of family sooner, maybe we wouldn't be here. Dad, when do we move in? Leo asks. Next week, I say. Leo needs to say goodbye to his old preschool friends. I have to say goodbye to my friends then. Leo seems reluctant. It is okay. You will make new friends at the new preschool. Really? Really. After leaving the new apartment, we go to a nearby mall to buy some essentials for Leo. The mall is packed with weekend shoppers. Seeing other families laughing and chatting together, I feel a pang of irony. We were a family of 3, too, but here we are preparing for a separation. Dad, I want this action figure. Leo points to a model in the toy store. All right, let's get it. Sarah offers to pay. The shop assistant smiles at us and says, "You guys make a lovely couple, and your kid is adorable." Sarah and I don't explain anything. Mom, can we get ice cream? Leo suggests. Sure. We sit in the ice cream shop while Leo selects his flavor carefully. I want chocolate. All right, 1 chocolate for Leo, Sarah tells the server. What about you guys? The server asks. Vanilla for me, I say. Vanilla for me too, Sarah adds. Leo is happily swinging his legs while eating his ice cream. Mom and Dad, do you both like the same thing because you like the same stuff? Sarah and I exchange a look. Once upon a time, we did have many common interests. We liked the same movies, the same music, the same food. But when did we stop knowing what each other liked? Yes, Sarah answers Leo, because we both like sweet flavors. Then I like sweet flavors too, Leo says happily. Seeing his innocent smile, I silently pray. I hope he can always stay this pure and happy. I hope our separation won't leave a mark on him. Mom, will you play with me again tomorrow? Leo suddenly asks. Sarah glances at me. Mom has to go to the office to handle something tomorrow. Leo's smile suddenly fades. But next Saturday, Mom will definitely spend time with Leo, okay? She adds. Okay, Leo cheers up again. Kids are like that. They are easily comforted and forget disappointment just as quickly. But I know too many letdowns can make a child slowly stop expecting anything, just like me. On Monday, I take Leo to the kindergarten to handle his transfer paperwork. Is Leo leaving? The teacher looks a bit surprised. Yes, we are moving, I explain briefly. Leo has always done well here, and the teachers really like him. Thank you for taking good care of him. After finishing up the paperwork, Leo reluctantly says goodbye to his friends. Judy, I am leaving, but we are still friends, right? Yes, Leo, you have to miss me. Watching the kids and their pure friendship, I feel a twinge of sadness. Because of our decision, Leo has to say goodbye to the environment and friends he is used to. Daddy, I am going to miss this place, Leo says on the way home. I know, buddy, but the new kindergarten will be fun too. Will Mom move to the new house too? He suddenly asks. I am taken aback. Mom has her own place. Why doesn't Mom live with us? Because I wasn't sure how to explain. Mom's work is busy and she needs to be close to her office. Leo nods, sort of understanding. Does Mom still love us? Of course she does. Mom loves Leo the most. Then why don't we live together? Aren't people who love each other supposed to be together? Kids' questions are always so direct, impossible to dodge. Leo, sometimes adults have their own arrangements, but love doesn't go away just because we don't live together. He thinks about it. Like me and Judy, even if we are not in the same kindergarten, we are still friends, right? Exactly, that is it. When we get home, Sarah is on a phone call in the living room. She quickly wraps it up when she sees us. "Did the transfer paperwork go through?" she asks. "Yeah," I said. "Leo is feeling a bit sad about it." "Leo." Sarah crouches down and hugs him. "The new kindergarten will be even more fun, I promise." "Really?" Leo's eyes light up. "Really? When has Mom ever lied to Leo?" Leo laughs happily. That night, I am packing the last of our things when I hear the doorbell. Sarah goes to answer it. It is my best friend, David. "Is Mark home?" He sounds a bit urgent. "Yeah." Sarah steps aside to let him in. David walks into the living room and sees me packing. His expression changes. "Are you really moving out?" "Yeah." I nod. David is a lawyer, and he helped with the divorce papers. He has been supportive, but seeing everything packed up, he seems kind of worried. "Where is Leo?" he asks. "Playing in his room? I want to talk to you alone." David glances at Sarah. Sarah takes the hint and says, "I will go work in the study." After she leaves, David sits next to me. "Mark, are you sure about this?" "I am sure. I keep folding clothes. I have thought about it for a long time. But just now, Sarah seemed really concerned about you leaving." I pause. "David, are you trying to talk me out of the divorce? I am not telling you not to divorce." David shakes his head. "I just think maybe you guys could talk it over again." 5 years we have talked countless times. I smile wryly. And the result? Still the same. But people change. Maybe she really gets it now. Maybe. I shrug. But I don't want to gamble anymore. David looks at me. "You know, a lot of guys envy you. A successful wife, a lovely kid, a comfortable life. Well, if they want it, they can have it," I half joke. "Mark, I am serious." David grasps my hand. "Marriage is tough, and if there is a chance to save it—" "David," I interrupt him. "Do you know how I have spent these past 5 years? I know it has been tough for you. Not tough." I shake my head. More like hopeless. When you become completely disappointed in someone, you don't expect anything anymore. David stays silent. "I have already given up once." I continue. "I don't want to go through that again." He looks at me, a bit of sympathy in his eyes. "And Leo, he will lose a whole family. A complete family isn't just 2 adults under one roof." I cut in. "It is 2 people who love each other and their child. We stopped being a complete family a while ago." Just then, Leo runs out of his room. "Uncle David!" He rushes to David. "Leo!" David picks him up. "Did you miss Uncle?" "I did. Uncle David, we are moving to a new house. Really? Are you happy about it?" "Happy! The new house is amazing. I can see lots of big buildings." Watching Leo's excitement, David's expression is complicated. Maybe he understands. For Leo, home is wherever his dad is. On moving day, the weather is great. The movers finish up quickly. Sarah helps the whole time, even though I said she didn't need to. "Mom, are you coming to the new house with us?" Leo asks. "I will help you settle in. Then I will go back." Sarah kneels and touches his head. "Why not stay?" "Because Mom has work to do." Leo looks a bit let down, but nods anyway. The new house is set up quickly. I put up his favorite superhero decals in Leo's room and arrange his toys. "Dad, this place is awesome!" Leo bounces on the bed. "As long as you like it." I chuckle. Sarah checks the utilities in the living room, making sure everything works. "If there is any issue, call me anytime," she tells me. All right. She checks the locks and windows. Security is pretty good, but still be careful at night. I know. After finishing all this, it is already afternoon. Is Mommy leaving now? Leo holds on to her hand. Yes, but Mommy will come to see Leo this weekend. Can Mommy play with me for a while now? Of course. They build blocks in the living room while I am in the kitchen preparing dinner. Through the kitchen door, I can see their focused faces. It would be great if it could always be like this. But now, saying that doesn't mean anything. Once dinner is ready, I call them over to eat. Wow, Dad made chicken wings. Leo claps happily. And Leo's favorite steamed eggs. I scoop some rice for him. Thank you, Dad. Sarah also sits down, but doesn't look like she has much appetite. Not to your taste? I ask. No. She shakes her head. It smells good. But she still eats very little. Leo chats with us while eating, and the atmosphere is quite harmonious. Mommy, do you have such delicious food at your house too? He suddenly asks. Sarah pauses. Mommy usually eats out. That isn't tasty, right? Leo frowns. Outside food doesn't taste as good as Dad's? Yeah, it isn't as good as Dad's. She glances at me. After dinner, she volunteers to help clean the dishes. I can do it, I say. It is okay. I will help you. We wash dishes in the kitchen just like before. But our feelings are completely different now. Mark. She suddenly starts. Yeah? If I could change, would there still be a chance for us? Pause my actions. Sarah. Some things. I have repeated too many times. I know you don't believe me now, she continues. But I am serious. Your seriousness is too late. I continue washing the dishes. And besides, I don't need it anymore. She is silent for a long time. I understand, she finally says. After dishes, she says goodbye to Leo. Leo, Mommy is leaving. Be a good boy and listen to Daddy. Okay. Goodbye, Mommy. Leo kisses her cheek. Goodbye. She hugs him, her eyes a bit teary. I walk her to the door. It is the last time we stand face to face like this. Take care of yourself, she says, and Leo too. I will. I will sign the agreement tomorrow. I nod. Thanks. She turns and walks away, her steps a bit heavy. I close the door and lean against it, letting out a long breath. Finally, we are officially separating. Dad, did Mommy leave? Leo walks over. She is gone. She looked a bit sad. Kids always notice things. Adults sometimes get sad too, I say. But that is not something Leo should worry about. So what do we do now? How about we watch cartoons? Okay. We sit on the couch watching cartoons with Leo leaning against me. The first night in our new home, just the two of us, father and son. But that is all right too. Very quiet, very warm. No waiting, no disappointment, just each other's company. A week later, the divorce papers are officially signed. When Sarah and I part ways at the government office, we are both calm. If there is anything about Leo, contact me any time, she says. Sure. And if you have any difficulties, I will handle them, I interrupt her. She nods and turns toward the parking lot. I stand there watching her back, feeling no relief, I imagined. Just a sense that a chapter of life had ended completely. From today on, I am single dad Mark, no longer Sarah's husband. Back home, Leo is drawing with the nanny. Dad, look at the dinosaur I drew. He holds up the paper for me to see. It is great. I praise him with a smile. He doesn't know what happened today. In his world, everything is still the same. That night, I get a call from David. Is it all done? He asks. Yeah, it is done. How are you feeling? All right, I say, calmer than I imagined. That is good. David pauses. Mark, I support your decision. Thanks. If you need help with anything, you know where to find me. Okay. After the call, I bathe Leo and put him to bed. Dad, how come Mommy didn't call today? He asks. Mommy might be busy, I say, but tomorrow is the weekend. She will come to see Leo. Really? Really? Leo closes his eyes contentedly. I sit beside his bed watching his sleeping face. This little angel is the most precious gift in my life. For him, I can endure any hardships. The next day is Saturday, and Sarah comes right on time to pick up Leo. Mommy! Leo rushes towards her. Did Leo miss Mommy? She hugs him. Yes. Where are you taking me today? How about the zoo? Sure. As they are leaving, Leo looks back at me. Dad, aren't you coming? Daddy has things to do, I say. Leo, go with Mommy and tell Daddy what animals you saw tonight. Okay? Watching them leave, I sit on the couch lost in thought for a while. This is the first weekend after the divorce. From now on, it will be like this. Leo with his mom on weekends, with me during the week. I grab a sketchbook and start designing. Work always distracts me from my worries. At 3 p.m, I get a call from Sarah. Leo has a fever. Her voice is tense. I am taking him to the hospital now. I immediately stand up. Is it serious? His temperature is over 101 degrees and he vomited once. I will be right there. I hurry to the hospital and find them in the pediatric clinic. Leo looks listless in Sarah's arms, his face flushed red. Daddy. He sees me and reaches out his little hand. Sweetie. I gently touch his forehead. Still feel bad? A little, he says softly. The doctor said it is acute gastroenteritis, and he would need an IV. Probably something he ate at the zoo wasn't clean, the doctor said. I glance at Sarah. She looks pale. I am sorry, she says. I didn't take good care of him. Now is not the time for that, I say, picking up Leo. Let's focus on getting him better. In the infusion room, Leo lies on the hospital bed. Sarah and I sit on either side of him. Dad, am I sick? Leo asks. Yes, but you will get better soon. I hold his little hand. So can I go to the new kindergarten tomorrow? You can go once you are all better. Okay. He obediently closes his eyes. The infusion would take 3 hours. Sarah and I take turns looking after him. I will go get some porridge, Sarah says. He will need something to eat when he wakes up. Sure. After she leaves, I stay by Leo's side. Watching the slow drip of the fluid through the IV makes me suddenly feel very tired. Raising a kid alone isn't easy. What if Leo falls sick? Could I handle it by myself? Sarah returns, soon holding a thermal container. I got some plain porridge and some dumplings, she says. His favorite. Yeah. Leo wakes up and eats some porridge. He seems a bit more spirited. Dad, I want to go home, he says. We will go home soon, I reassure him. After the infusion, we return to my new place. I will head out after seeing you both back, Sarah says. No need for that, I say, holding Leo. You have had a long day too. I want to make sure he is okay before I leave. I don't argue. After Leo has a bath, I take his temperature. It had dropped to normal levels. I am relieved. Okay, now I can rest easy, Sarah says, standing up. I am leaving now. Bye, Mom, Leo says, still a bit weak, but he waves goodbye. Bye, sweetheart. At the door, she suddenly says, Mark, thank you for not blaming me today. He is our child, I reply. It is our responsibility to take care of him. She nods, a mix of emotions in her eyes. I will be more careful in the future. I know. After she leaves, I return to Leo's room. He is already asleep, breathing steadily. I sit by the bed for a long time, thinking about everything that had happened today. Maybe the choices we made back then were right. At least now we can still get along for Leo. That is something. A month later, our new lives gradually get back on track. Leo adapts well to his new kindergarten and makes new friends. I also pick up some design projects. Life is busy, but fulfilling. One afternoon, while sketching in my studio, I get a call from his kindergarten teacher. Mark, Leo has been crying all afternoon and just can't be consoled. My heart tightens. What happened? It seems he got into a conflict with some other kids. He has been saying he wants his mom and dad. I am on my way. When I arrive at the kindergarten, Leo is sitting in the corner of the classroom, eyes red. Leo. I kneel down and hug him. Dad! He bursts into tears again in my arms. What happened, sweetie? Mike said I don't have a mom. He sobbed. She said my mom doesn't want me anymore. A wave of anger hits me, but I patiently console him. Leo, your mom absolutely wants you. She loves you very much. Then why doesn't Mom live with us? He looks up at me. Why do other kids get both their parents to pick them up and I only have you? This was a question I knew I would eventually have to face. I just didn't think it would come so soon. Leo, even though we don't live together, both Mom and Dad love you very much. I try to explain in terms he could understand. It is like having lots of toys. Some are in one room, some are in another. But you like them all, right? Leo thinks for a moment and nods. That is how it is with Mom and Dad. Even though we live in different places, our love for you is the same. Can I stay at Mom's house? Of course, Mom will pick you up on weekends. Leo finally smiles through his tears. On the way home, I message Sarah about what happened. She calls back quickly. Is Leo okay? She asks. He has calmed down, I say, but I think we need to have a proper talk with him. You mean about the divorce? He is already sensing it, I say. Better he hears it from us than imagining things on his own. Okay, I will come over tonight. No need, I reply. Tomorrow is the weekend. You can tell him when you pick him up. All right. The next day, Sarah arrives on time. The three of us sit in the living room, the atmosphere a bit tense. Leo, Mom and Dad need to tell you something, I say. Leo looks nervously between Sarah and me. Mom and Dad have decided to live separately, Sarah says. Not because we don't love you, but for reasons between us. What does living separately mean? Leo asks. It means Mom lives at her house, and Dad will stay here with you, I explain. Are you still married? Kids have a way of cutting to the heart of things. No, I answer honestly, but we will always be your mom and dad. Leo is silent for a while. Is it because I did something wrong? He asks softly. No, Sarah and I say at the same time. It is definitely not because of you. Sarah hugs him. You are the best kid in the world, and we are so proud to have you. Then why are you splitting up? Sometimes grown-ups have differences they can't work out, I say, but it has nothing to do with you. Leo thinks for a long moment. Can I still see Mom? Of course, Sarah says. Mom will see you every weekend, and sometimes you can stay at Mom's house. Really? Really? Leo seems to accept the explanation. Can we go play now? He asks. I want to feed the pigeons at the park. Looking at his innocent face, Sarah and I both breathe a sigh of relief. Maybe for a kid, as long as there is love, nothing else matters. At the park, Leo happily feeds the pigeons. Mom, Dad, look! The little pigeons are fighting over food. We sit on a bench watching him, feelings mixed. He is handling this better than I imagined, Sarah says. Kids adapt quickly, I reply, saying that if we handle it right, he wouldn't be too affected. Thank you, she suddenly says. For what? I ask. For letting me continue to be his mother, she says. I look at her. He is your son. That is only natural. But a lot of men wouldn't be so understanding, she replies. I am not doing it to be generous. It is for Leo. He needs a mother's love, I say. She nods, her eyes a bit teary. I will try to be a good mom, she says. I believe you, I assure her. The sun sets as the three of us walk home. Although our family isn't whole anymore, Leo's laughter is still as clear and joyful as ever. Maybe this outcome was the best choice for everyone. 3 months later, my life is completely back on track. Work is getting busier with several big projects at once. Leo also fully adapts to the new routine, doing great at his preschool. Every weekend, Sarah would show up on time to pick him up without ever missing a beat. That Friday night, I am working late drawing and Leo is already asleep. Suddenly, my phone rings with a call from an unknown number. Is this Mark? The voice asks. Yes, who is this? I respond. I am a nurse from the downtown hospital. A lady named Sarah had a car accident and is in emergency care. You are listed as her emergency contact, she said. I freeze for a moment. Is it serious? I ask. The injuries are pretty severe. She is in the ER. Can you come down? She asks. I will be right there, I answer. I hang up the phone, my mind going blank. Even though we were divorced, I am still shocked and worried to hear this news. I wake Leo up and quickly take him to our neighbor. Aunt Wang, can you watch Leo for me? It is urgent, I say. Of course, go on, she replies. When I reach the hospital, the light in the ER is still on. Doctor, how is Sarah? I anxiously ask. She is still in surgery, the doctor says. Who are you to her? I hesitate. I am her son's father. Then please wait. We will update you as soon as there is news, the doctor says. I sit outside the ER, feeling mixed emotions. Even though our marriage is over, she is still Leo's mother. If anything happened to her, Leo would be devastated. 2 hours later, the ER doors finally open. Doctor, how is she? I immediately stand up. She is out of immediate danger but seriously injured. She will need to stay for observation, the doctor says, taking off his mask. I breathe a sigh of relief. Thank you, doctor. She needs a family member to sign some papers, the doctor explains. We are divorced. I am not sure if I can. You are the child's father. You should be able to. Plus, we can't reach any other family right now, he says. I sign and watch as they wheel Sarah into her room. Her face is pale, head wrapped in bandages, looking fragile. When will she wake up? I ask the nurse. Soon, once the anesthesia wears off, she assures. I sit by her bed and watch her sleep. This woman who had once been my wife was now my son's mother. No matter what happened between us, I didn't want anything bad to happen to her. Half an hour later, she stirs awake. Mark? She sees me, surprise flickering in her eyes. You are awake, I say. How do you feel? My head hurts, she says, attempting to sit up. Why are you here? The hospital called, said you were in an accident, I explain. She pauses. Sorry for the trouble. No trouble, I say, handing her a glass of water. The doctor said you need to stay for a few days. Where is Leo? She asks. At the neighbor's. He doesn't know yet, I reply. Don't tell him. I don't want him to worry, she says. Okay. The room goes quiet, except for the beeps of the machines. Mark, she suddenly says. Yeah? Thank you for being here. I am just making sure Leo doesn't lose his mom, I say. She gives a small smile. I know. You should rest. I will handle the paperwork for your stay, I say. No, let my assistant do it, she replies. It is late. Don't bother anyone else, I insist. As I sort the paperwork, the nurse asks if we need a caregiver. She is alone. It might be tough for her, the nurse says. After thinking about it, I reply, yeah, please arrange one. When I return, she is asleep again. I sit for a while to make sure she is okay before leaving. When I get home, it is 3 a.m. I bring Leo back, and he sleeps soundly, knowing nothing. The next morning, I call the school to let them know Leo wouldn't be there. I take him to see Sarah at the hospital. What is wrong with Mommy? Leo asks on the way. Mommy is not feeling well and needs to stay in the hospital for a bit, I explain simply. Is it bad? No, she will be just fine, I say. When we get to the room, Sarah is talking to a doctor. Mom! Leo shouts, running to her side. Leo! She holds him close, her eyes showing pain but still managing a smile. Why are you sick, Mom? Leo asks, touching her forehead gently. Mommy is okay, just needs some rest, she assures him. Can I stay and take care of you? Leo asks with teary eyes. Leo needs to go to school. Mommy needs to rest, I say. But I want to take care of Mommy, he insists. Leo is such a good boy, Sarah says, kissing his cheek. I will come pick you up after I get better, okay? Okay. Leo smiles through his tears. We stay for a bit and then I take Leo to school. Dad, is Mom really okay? He asks on the way. She is fine, buddy. The doctor will take care of her, I assure him. Can we see her tomorrow? He asks. We can, I promise. For the next few days, we visit Sarah every day. Even though we were divorced, I felt it was important for Leo to spend time with his mom now. Sarah is recovering well, but the doctor recommended a 1-week minimum stay. I had my assistant cancel all my appointments. She later told me this was a wake-up call. A wake-up call? I asked. I have been so caught up in work, ignoring the important people and things in life. If something had really happened, I would regret it forever, she said, gazing out the window. I didn't say anything. Mark, can I ask you something? She said suddenly. What? If you could do it all over again, would you still marry me? This question left me speechless for a long time. No what-ifs, I finally said. And if I hadn't married you, we wouldn't have Leo. Do you regret it? I don't regret having Leo, I said, looking at her. But I don't regret the choices I have made now either. She nods. I see. Sarah, I said. Some things happen, and when they do, we just have to move forward. Yeah. She gives a bittersweet smile. I just wanted to know if there is any chance left between us in your heart. There isn't, I reply plainly. But we can be great friends for Leo's sake. A hint of disappointment flashes in her eyes, but is quickly replaced by acceptance. Okay, being friends is good too. On the day she is discharged, I go to pick her up. Thank you for taking care of me these past few days, she said. No problem. Mark, she said seriously, I have realized a lot of things. I will try to be a good mom and respect your choices. Thank you. If you ever run into difficulties or need help, please tell me. We are not married anymore, but I hope we can still be friends. Okay? When the car pulls up in front of my building, Leo is already waiting. Mom! He shouts, running to Sarah. Leo! She exclaims, picking up her son and spinning him around. Mom, are you all better now? Completely better. Then let's go to the park. Okay. Watching the two of them happy together, I think to myself, maybe this is a good ending. We can't be a couple, but we can be friends. For Leo and for the good memories we once shared. 6 months later, I meet a really nice woman at an art exhibit. Her name is Emily. She is a writer, kind, funny, and loves kids. Leo takes to her right away. Dad, is Emily going to live with us? Leo asks me one day. Do you want that? I reply. Yes, he says without hesitation. Emily is great, and she tells me lots of awesome stories. When I share the news with Sarah, she is silent for a long time. Is she a good person? She eventually asks. Yes, I say. She is great with Leo. That is good. She nods. Leo needs a complete family. And what about you? I ask. Have you thought about starting over? Not yet. She shakes her head. I might need more time. You will find the right person, I said. Maybe.